Hello, world. Tara Sue Moore from Cochrane, Alberta, from stockbroker to firewalker, broadcasting from my crystal cavern in Cochrane, Alberta. Welcome to day 6, session 3 of Find It, Feel It, Free It. The movement that I am hoping to anchor in, encouraging every human on the planet to contribute to creating an energetic field of freedom, essentially the energetic essence of what freedom will feel like, coherently co-created by all of us. And I am 100% a believer, a firm believer, that if magically all life, even just all humans, and in fact we don't need all humans, we probably only need a small percentage of us really, to really coherently be able to sit and hold a collective feeling and essence of what freedom feels like. And from that, the decisions and the actions and the physical manifestations will be in alignment with that feeling of freedom. And I know that sounds big and crazy, but I firmly believe that it's possible. So I am hoping that there are others out there who share this same belief and that will start to participate with me. Goal of the movement again, find what makes you feel free. And again, this is an exploration and a life journey. Learn how to feel any feeling, but let's work on freedom coherently through all your centers, your mental power center, your heart power center, and your physical body center, your gut center. And then from that coherent feeling within inside of you, radiate your feeling of freedom to the collective. You certainly can set the intention of tuning your dial, if you will, for your feeling of freedom to be prevalent or more easily felt in certain places. So never mind this big, hard to imagine working global experiment. Why else might someone want to participate with me? Well, because emotions are a bit of a default pattern in our body. Meaning once our body has figured out a favorite emotion to run, that's what it will tend to do whenever you're not consciously or unconsciously, but when something is not moving you off your default. So that's really wonderful if you're in a body that has chosen or been taught or learned or figured out, but a body that has a default of emotions that create coherence and health in you. So if you're in a body that naturally defaults coherently, so all centers connected to feeling trust, or feeling pleasure, or feeling joy, or feeling compassion, or feeling appreciation, if those are your default emotions and feelings, and these are rich, deep emotions, then you're already golden because that's what you're going to sleep in every night. But if you're like many of us, maybe all of us, certainly many of us here where I live on the planet, and your default emotion might be a little bit more worry or anxiety or depression or frustration or anger. And I'm not meaning that you're behaving inappropriately. I'm not meaning you're not managing your words. I'm not meaning you're not managing your actions. I'm meaning at your core deep inside. And that may be going on also, but I'm more worried about what's going on inside your body. So if you're in a body that's behaving like that, then that is what your body is going to feel whenever you're not consciously changing it. And starting to involve a protocol in your life, like I'm suggesting, something that gives you management over your inner emotional state, and it's a process, also means that over a little bit of time, and frankly not too much, about 6 weeks is the data I consistently had. And interestingly enough, in the Bible, didn't it take, I'd have to look at the numbers, but somewhere around 6 weeks, 40 days and nights to move to a new land? Just food for thought. So depleting, draining emotions like anger, fear, anxiety, and depression literally poison us. And the more time we spend experiencing depleting emotions, the more difficult it will be for all of our systems, including our cardiovascular system, our immune system, and our minds to function well. Unhappiness ages us long before our time, and if left unchecked, can kill us. Those are strong words. And understand, I'm not meaning one can never feel unhappy. In fact, it turns out to be resilient, something that makes us resilient is being in a body that now and again does get quite stressed and quite strained, and then is allowed to recover. So what I'm suggesting isn't a protocol that takes away all the extremes. It's a protocol that creates a completely different inner default to start with. And so that's another potential side effect of starting to participate in my global Find It, Feel It, Free It movement. I'm using these tools a lot today. Again, just keeping up on everything going on in the nation, and there's a lot of it. I'm also hearing from a number of people some different health stuff going on. So some personal stuff going on, never mind my own life. Something else I did today to help myself, again, I have this sound system playing into the crystals behind me that I've spoken a little bit about. Happy to speak about more. But I actually turned on the pink noise sound. So that, my understanding in very layman's terms, is that pink noise in the recording industry is a lot of the very coherent creating sounds, all combined into one subtle vibration. It sounds a bit like a hiss. But I've been playing with measuring how my body responds when that's on versus the white noise feature, which does do a better job of making me think that I'm not hearing the outside world. And interestingly enough, the pink noise, even though my ears think they hear more, my body actually appreciates more than the white noise. My body fights in the white noise. Interesting. So for my coherence today, I'm actually pretty coherent going into this. So I'm going to think about freedom. And one thing I did this morning was I purchased the website for Find It, Feel It, Free It. I have no idea if that's going to work or not, but for me, that's a feeling of an opening and a potential and an opening of a possibility. Does not cost that much to buy a website for a year, so it was a small investment. And that gives me a feeling of freedom and an opening up of possibilities. May or may not happen, but right now that's what I'm thinking about as I do my breathing. So again, for anyone on, please join me. Just think about something that you could do that would bring a feeling of freedom into your body, and start breathing a little more slowly and deeply than usual. Seeing, sensing, and feeling that each breath flows through your heart or chest space. Now remember how it feels within your body when you're free. For me, it's a very still peace. I feel like there's a bit more space in my body, and there's a very subtle light bubbliness that just feels easy, and I like that feeling. It's different from the, I can feel a lot of fire. I perform well in that feeling, but I don't love it. It's okay for me, but I don't love it. This free feeling, it's light. Between now and another minute, there's nothing I need to do but breathe. As soon as I feel my body energetically respond, that's when I will shift the intention to radiating again. I'm in a body that's practiced at this. If you just come on, all you need to do is think about something that makes you feel free and start to breathe a little more deeply, imagining your breath goes through your heart or chest. And simply ask your heart to radiate your feeling of freedom out to the collective. Okay, I'm feeling pretty solid this round, so I'm actually going to put an intention. Oh, I can feel the stress in my back as I say I'm going to do that. I really don't like to feel like I am influencing anything. I don't like feeling when others are trying to influence or control me. But I want to radiate this light, bubbly feeling of freedom that I'm feeling right now, potential and possibility, and no matter where we're standing, there can be a future that's okay. I'm going to actually set the intention now that this feeling can be a little targeted on what's going on within the House of Commons, within the absolute people who are currently tasked with making the decisions to lead this nation, because in the next couple days, they are going to need to debate and discuss this state of emergency situation that we have, this very polarized, very confrontational, very uncomfortable to me feeling state of emergency that we are now living in here in Canada. Free, fair, kind, compassionate Canada. And that's what I'm radiating to the House. Free, fair, flourishing, thriving, room for all, freedom. Starting out of this country and radiating it around the world and potentially beyond. Because if you're watching the news, as all of this is going on, we are also making huge, huge steps in going beyond this earth at very high speeds. Okay, there we go. It's about 5 minutes of coherence, a little more than 5 of me talking. Thank you all for listening. I will see you back briefly again at 5, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Day 6, session 3. Find how freedom feels for you. Feel it in your body. Free it on the automatic transmission system of your heart. I'm Tara Sue Moore from Stockbroker to Firewalker.